Audible offers an incredible selection of audiobooks across every genre.
As an Audible member, you can choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog. The time is now, more than ever, to embrace the breathtaking, sinister, and shocking tales that have enthralled you, especially with brand new exclusive thrillers from best-selling authors who are guaranteed to keep you gripped.
Right now, one thing that I'm very interested in taking a listen to is The Daughters of Block Island, which is currently #1 on the mystery thriller and suspense list. So that is definitely going into my queue. New members can try Audible free for 30 days.
Visit audible.com/crappens or text crappens to 500-500. That's audible.com/crappens or text crappens to 500-500.
Shout out to Claritin for supporting this episode and providing us with samples.
My family is an allergy family, and one thing I can always count on is that somebody has the Claritin.
Luckily, for those of us who live with symptoms of allergies, we can live Claritin Clear with Claritin D.
Designed for serious allergy sufferers, Claritin D has 2 powerful ingredients in just 1 pill that relieve your allergy symptoms and decongest your nose so you can breathe better.
This double action combination of prescription strength allergy medicine and the best decongestant available relieves sneezing, a runny nose, itching, and watery eyes, an itchy nose and throat, and sinus congestion and pressure with ease.
I've got 2 nieces with extreme allergies, and the only thing that helps them is Claritin. We've always got it.
Oh yeah, my boyfriend, let me tell you something. When the allergies start up in Los Angeles, it's like, this is like reach for that Claritin. Ready to live life as if you don't have allergies? It's time to live Claritin Clear.
Fast and powerful relief is just a quick trip away. Find Claritin D at the pharmacy counter.
Ask for Claritin at your local pharmacy counter. You don't even need a prescription.
Go to Claritin.com right now for a discount so you can live Claritin Clear. Use as directed. This episode is supported by FX's Clipped, the scandalous story of the 2014 Clippers owner's racist remarks captured on tape and heard around the world.
The series charts the tape's impact on a dysfunctional basketball organization striving to win against their reputation as the most cursed team in the league.
Starring Lawrence Fishburne, Jackie Weaver, Cleopatra Coleman, and Ed O'Neill. FX's Clipped, streaming June 4th, only on Hulu.
Watch what happens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that happens? Watch what happens. Watch what happens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that happens?
Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me today is the wonderful and glorious Mr. Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Well, hello, Ben.
Hi.
Can I just make an announcement? This is just for you, Ben, not everybody else. Sorry, everybody else has to hear this.
I need positivity. I need some positivity and some enthusiasm. All right.
Ronnie, when we record this episode, I just need you to be a little softer and more tender with me. That's all. Just be a little softer and tender.
I just need some tenderness.
Be something softer. Be soft and tender, okay?
Please be softer.
Be softer and tender, okay?
Oh, darling.
Wow, this episode of Summer House really had it all. What a disaster. What a shit show.
God, Paige for president, though.
Oh my God, Paige was amazing. Actually, all the women were amazing this episode. All the women were putting these immature fucking men in their place, weren't they?
They were, but Paige just took it that extra mile with yelling up at Kyle while he went upstairs to go cry in a corner and just kept yelling at him. I died. I was like, Paige for president. Paige.
It was so good.
I would vote for Paige at this point for prez.
Yeah, she was really amazing. This is her best episode.
We no longer have taxes. We only have to hit like and subscribe. That's my only law.
The only thing taxing around here is my boyfriend.
Oh, by the way, did you send me notes? I just realized
I did email. Notes. I did text you notes. Yes, but you know what?
Sorry.
While you get those notes, everyone go to watchcrappens.com to get your tickets for European shows. As a reminder, London, we're doing the Amsterdam Beverly Hills thing. We're doing Ireland, Shamrocks, and why can't I remember Shamrocks and Shame? The Orange County and Ireland episode. And then Iceland, Orange County, which is the case of the Vickies in Birmingham. So go to watchwhatcrappens.com and go to our Instagram to get the exact episode numbers and episode names. And you can check it out right there. And you know what? Right after this, I'm going to pin that to the top of our page. That way people have easy access to it. So we're really excited about that. Before we dive into this recap about Summer House, I have something I need to bring to the podcast about Summer House and West. And a friend sent this to me. Okay, so she was watching last week's episode.
This is going to be propaganda. I feel some propaganda coming on.
No, this is going to be this. I think this will make you happy. I think this might be maybe it could potentially be a vindication for you. My friend was watching Summer House, and she was watching it with the closed captions on. And there was a scene last week when West was talking about, they were on the boat and Paige was like, "Are you sleeping with other women?" And he was like, he does like an interview where he says, you know, like when you date someone, it's either going to lead to marriage or a really sad day. And both of those things really scare me. I know it's like selfish and immature. It's the most selfish thing I've said on this thing, but like, that's just who I am. That's just how I feel. Da, 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 da. So remember he said that?
Yeah.
And my friend noticed that our closed captioning was saying something completely different. Like the closed captioning
They've been doing that a lot on Bravo. This has happened a few times now.
The closed captioning was said something entirely different, but said something that kind of made sense, but it was totally different. And so she pointed it out to her husband, and he was like, he was like a videographer, works in video or something, and he was like, "Oh yeah." A lot of times that happens when they swap out something and they forget to change the captioning. So it's usually a remnant of a scene that used to be there.
Yeah. Do you remember the whole thing that happened on Southern Charm with that? They'd taken a whole scene with the guys talking and they forgot to change it on closed captioning. So they changed everything. They tried to trick us, but the audience caught it, fuckers.
Well,
so what was he really saying in closed captioning?
Well, I just want to say that when I went and looked at my closed captioning, the same scene, it has been fixed and revised. But it is here in video. And so while West is talking about like, oh my God, marriage or whatever. So again, they're on the boat and Paige is like, "Have you been sleeping with anyone?" And so this is what the closed captioning from West says. Clicks tongue. Prisoner of the moment, probably. Because this is an interview. He's telling us this. Forgot about that. So I'm sort of scrolling. I don't know. I mean, why would I ruin a special moment on the boat with the truth? Ha 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 ha, laughing. So when Paige says, "Are you sleeping around?" the original response on the show was, "Why would I ruin a special moment with the truth?"
Oh, so he is sleeping
suggesting
with other people,
like he is sleeping around, and that maybe Bravo is swap that out because West is so popular. They wanted to have like they don't want the
They're building him up as
him.
this hero.
So we don't know, but it definitely raised an eyebrow, and I wanted to share it with the audience, and everyone else can figure it out from there.
You know, I love some secret finds in editing.
Yes,
I love that.
Yes,
yeah. You know, this guy. I read all the comments, and I actually really like him too. I think
West.
He's so sweet. Yeah, I actually really like him. I think he's great casting. And no matter what happens in the future, he's great casting. Actually, especially if he turns out to be a monster, because it's going to be a huge twist. I have to say though, my meter just keeps pinging, and he's really leaning into this baby voice, like, "I just don't," and we know what that's a sign of. There's never been a good person who uses that voice, like, "I'm just a boy." What? And he does it. We'll get to the part in the notes where he does it, and I'm sorry, but something's in store with this guy, and I cannot wait to find out what it is. So we'll see.
Luckily, it seems like Sierra has. I really loved how Sierra handled him later in the episode. Like literally, all the women handled all the men this episode so well. They just put them all in their place. Yeah. So this week, the episode picks up. Kyle has just thrown a thing at a thing because Amanda dared to say she wants to, do something that was not related to Loverboy.
She wants to make bikinis for big-breasted women.
That's all she
and
wants.
It sends Kyle into a drama temper tantrum watching a grown, drunk, aging frat boy with a mullet just clinging to youth and sobbing because he's not getting his way is hilarious to me. It's not the first time it's happened on Summer House, especially with Kyle. This is Kyle. And I love everybody so surprised every time Kyle does this. Everyone online's like, what, Kyle? What's wrong with Kyle? Have you been watching this show? This is Kyle, people, okay? This is why we've been screaming run to Amanda for 8 years. 8 years now.
Truly.
But this shit is funny. So he's throwing things. And inside, or apart from them, Amanda's talking to Lindsay, and she's like, I just feel like I can't win. It's like, what do you do all day? What do you do with your life? And I tell you, and then it's not enough? Like, what the hell?
And then outside, Kyle's talking to Carl, and he's like, the way Amanda talks to me, like, actually disgusts me. Like, I feel like I'm putting all this effort in for, like, nothing. Like, I mean, the way she has talked to you this season has been pretty terrible in many different instances. But in this case, literally nothing wrong with what she said, what she asked, what she expressed. Literally nothing wrong. You're the one who's throwing shit against walls outside, and you're complaining ways she delivers information? I don't think so.
Yeah, and we're kind of seeing her point, you know, because this is you. You walk in. It's like the same thing going on with your buddy over here, who we'll get to in a minute. But it's the same thing where it's like poke, 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 poke. And then she goes crazy. And then you act like the bitch. I can't believe she talked to me like that. Wah, wah, wah. So, and it's just a doubleheader today of just stupid men.
Everyone, they're just, it's
so
coming
funny.
from all ends. It never ends. It's so good.
Yeah, so he's disgusted. And then, of course, he's got his little ass kissers out there. Is Danielle out here yet? She will be.
Maybe.
But it's Danielle and Carl, his little groupies. And Carl's like, oh, Kyle, you've built an amazing company. I mean, I recognize it. Like, I know that you need that from your wife, and you're not getting that because she doesn't appreciate you like I do. Only I see it. Only I see it. Like, oh, God.
Am I possibly setting you up to then be able to say the same thing to me when I come to you in the same situation? Possibly, yeah. But you do great work.
Yeah.
You do great work, by the way. So Kyle's like, I'm done, man. So then Amanda's like, you know, the first few years I did like the house with you guys, everyone sees me as Kyle's girlfriend, but I don't want to be Kyle's girlfriend. I want to be Amanda, the girl who finally provided something for the often overlooked demographic of women with big breasts.
I mean, I'm not even Amanda anymore. When was the last time I made guac?
That's true. She really has lost her identity.
She gave that up. It's so annoying. So then Amanda, you know, whatever. So Paige is running through the house like, gossip, 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 gossip.
Count your thing outside. Count your thing. Where's Sierra? Where is Sierra? Sierra is in her bed, but she has so much shit on her bed, and she's like under the comforter, so like Paige can't even find her. So then we go back to outside, and then Danielle is like, I mean, Kyle, imagine if you built something out of nothing and then you don't even feel appreciated. It's the worst thing, which is my way of saying, does anyone want to ask me about my startup? Because no one's asked me about that all summer. Anyone?
She's like, Kyle, I get it. Life is like an app. All right. You know, you got to update it every once in a while. Is it ever really finished? You know, there's a lot of version histories. You get what I'm saying? Now, as CEO to CEO, I just want to say, Kyle.
It's so frustrating when you've put in 3 Zoom meetings and people just don't appreciate the time you put into that, you know?
Well, I'm sure glad that Danielle took the time to get some mail approval today. Danielle. Pick me. Pick me. So then Kyle storms off and he's crying. My other favorite thing is the guy's crying off camera today. It's glorious.
Out of control.
Every time they start sobbing, they run off. And it's not glorious later because Jesse like has a legit thing going on. But it's just funny that the guys always run off camera. There's so many shots of guys just, we see a bush and we hear, Amanda's so mean to me.
And so Kyle's like, we hear him crying. And Danielle's like, I hope he's not driving. Because what we don't know is that he's actually climbed into a car and is sitting in the driver's I mean, talk about a metaphor. He's sitting in the driver's seat in a car that's going nowhere, crying.
In a leased car he can't pay. That's the other thing. He's crying about how they're out of money and how they're in debt and their business is tanking, and he goes to cry in a $160,000 car.
Yeah, exactly. So he's crying, and then Carl goes, "Oh, yeah, you want to go check in on him?" I'm like, Carl, you can't even have initiative in this moment. You're making Danielle do it. Could he be more passive? Hey, you want to go check on him? I'll be right here. I'm gonna just like make a hot dog.
And Kyle's crying in the car. He's like, I am so sick of her thing. What do I work? Well, I work for fun. No, you work for money. Okay? You work for fucking money. And the company that she helped you build, she's still helping you make money in. You dipshit. What do you think you're working for? Stop acting like you're working for her. Everything she's asked you for, you've said no. She wants to move, you said no. You're certainly not working for a house in the suburb. She said she's ready to have kids, you said no. You're certainly not working for your kids. So what is it? How much does that mullet cost?
You've also spent 3 years talking about how bad of an employee she is. She won't do her work. She wants to sleep in. She's like a ball and chain on the business. But this is what now you want to cling on to it? Come on, choose a lane.
Well, he just said last week, if she's saying she works for me. Well, if she worked for me, I would fire her. Oh, yeah. So that's the one you want to keep so bad, huh?
She literally wants to quit. You don't have to pay unemployment. So let it go. So
my friend's like, he just doesn't want to have to pay whoever's doing graphics. Like he wants to keep getting her work for free, but he's just such a dummy. You can still get her work for free. She's literally not leaving you. Is he afraid that he's going to have to fund this with other money? It's not your money anyway. You get investor money, and your audience is like 90% women. That you would think that you would be smart enough to be like, wow, one of the most gorgeous women on Bravo who everybody envies her body, like who has such an envious body that people are talking about it nonstop every single time she's on TV, wants to sell bikinis to other hot young women, and our market is hot young women. Hello, it's like a gift, darling. Take the gift, mullet.
I kind of think it has nothing to do with the financials. I think it's like this is like some weird abandonment issue thing, and that he is like the Loverboy is not doing well. It's going down. He's scared. The whole thing's like that people are gonna start abandoning ship. He's afraid that if Amanda leaves, other employees are gonna leave. It's just gonna be like he's just gonna go down with the ship alone, and he's gonna be off at sea, like sinking in a pit of seawater down to Ursula.
Well, hopefully now he can just be confident that all people really have to do is watch their boss on this show to have complete confidence as he sobs in a car and throws a temper tantrum and throws glasses against buildings he doesn't own. So he's going on, and Carl goes, I don't understand where she's coming from. She says things that make me question if she understands why I haven't put in the time and effort. And Danielle goes, yeah. It's an empire. Oh my God.
Yes. The empire
canceled after 2 seasons, maybe.
The empire of fizzy, alcoholic, fruity drinks. Up there with Rome and the Han Dynasty. So then she's like, I'm not a morning person. You're a morning person. I'm like, no, I'm not a morning person. I have to get up and do shit because I'm like a fucking adult. He's an adult as he sits there crying in a car, drunk, and pining of being a DJ in another life.
So
where's your bathing suit, sir, by the way? Mr. Adult, where's your bathing suit? Exactly. It's in the middle of the Long Island Sound because it fell off while you were sea bobbing while wasted. Earlier in the day.
This fucking guy. So he's like, I'm just so defeated. And she's like, you got this, buddy. Take a beat. Take a beat, buddy. From CEO to CEO, Kyle.
So Carl, then she comes back. He's like, is he all right? He's heartbroken. Absolutely. Okay, Danielle, let's relax here. Let's relax with the... Oh yeah, this is nothing. He's just having a tantrum in a car because he's drunk. So then, inside, Jesse's like, "Hey, who made all these? Who made all these?" And Paige is like, "Oh, it's our Amish friend Lindsay. She's from Florida." And we see Lindsay, and she's wearing like a hat, like a bucket hat, but she's wearing it up so it looks like a blossom hat. And she just stares like, "Are you making fun of me?" Making fun of me being from Florida? Being Amish? I thought we were friends this season.
I know. You can see Lindsay is not like the most hilarious person on purpose. Like, she doesn't have like a crazy sense of humor. And you can tell she's kind of mad. But she's like, well, they're probably making fun of me, but I'm going to be okay with it. Because I'm friends with the girls this season. So what are they eating? Chicken nuggets? She makes them something like that.
She's making some sort of like display of frozen foods or something like that. Like she like found the TGIF onion rings or something in the frozen aisle and is making them in the oven.
So she's like, I'm from Florida, and that's what makes me who I am. Okay, Albany. And Paige is like, oh my God, I literally love being from Albany. It's amazing.
I love being from Albany. It's better being from Albany than Nunbly. I was trying to do a play on words, but I realized it'll just go over your Florida Amish head. Never mind.
Somebody? No, nobody. Nobody?
Nobody. I'd rather have all the Benny than none of the Benny.
So outside, Danielle's pacing around, being a bad actress. You know, she's going, I mean, that is freaking awful. I mean, Kyle built something out of nothing. Mind blow.
It's and brutal. Then, oh yeah, it's brutal. So these women, brutal. Thank God you understand, Danielle. Thank God.
She's like, yeah, it's never good enough. I mean, wouldn't you feel bad if your own partner in life didn't celebrate? Or even worse, was like, cool, great, don't love it. Babe, what part of Amanda literally leaving her job to work with this man, go on the road with him to all of these gigs? If you look at their Instagram, it's just her and him at every fucking lover boy gig across the world selling this shit to tourists. Yeah. Don't tell me she doesn't support him. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and Carl's like, oh, trust me, it's crushing. It's absolutely crushing to have a partner who doesn't necessarily recognize or cheer you on, especially without any softness or tenderness, like, or make you feel worthy of like what you built or what you did for the family. I totally get that. I mean, I've not built anything or done anything for the family, but like, I totally get that theoretically. I totally know what it's like to have an unsupportive partner.
Yeah, you know, nothing is worse than someone who doesn't have enthusiasm. You know what I mean? And I just need enthusiasm. And it's like they don't understand like what you built or like what you did for your family.
What did you build, Carl? Could you please like get a whiteboard out and tell us what you fucking built? Because you say that a lot in this episode. Name it. Name one fucking thing that you've built or what you've done for your future family. Please, because you love going off about it this entire episode. Name it, dude. We've been watching you for 8 years. Come up with something.
I built a lot of things, like a business proposal for a sober bar, except I never really did the business proposal, but yeah.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial. The CDC estimates that approximately 96 million American adults, more than 1 in 3, have prediabetes. Of those with prediabetes, more than 80% don't even know they have it.
Why does this matter? If you have prediabetes, sugar begins to build up in the bloodstream rather than fuel the cells. This is when insulin resistance occurs, which is believed to be the #1 cause of prediabetes.
A healthy weight allows insulin to work more efficiently and can help to keep blood sugars within a normal range.
Signos can help you short-circuit the cycle by using data directly from your body to design a weight loss plan that's unique to your lifestyle.
With Signos, you can literally see which foods cause your blood sugar to spike above reasonable levels and get real-time alerts to do a bit of exercise to bring them back down.
On average, people make about 227 food choices a day.
Learn the difference between stress eating and physical hunger.
Better manage your energy throughout the day and sleep better at night.
Listen, I've got some health stuff going on here. I've been on my weight loss journey for about a year now, and I need to track this stuff, so it's great to have something so simple to use.
Signos removes the guesswork of weight loss and provides you with the tools and knowledge needed to develop healthier habits. It combines your glucose data from the CGM or a continuous glucose monitor with an AI-driven app to deliver real-time glucose insights for optimal health and weight management.
Right now, Signos has an offer exclusively for our listeners. Go to Signos.com, that's SIGNOS.com, and get up to 20% off select plans by using code CRAPPENS today.
That's Signos.com and use code CRAPPENS to get up to 20% off select plans for you today. Stewart's single ingredient freeze-dried treats are a great solution because they have only one ingredient, freeze-dried, to lock in nutrition and flavor.
Dogs can't resist them, and you can feel good about treating or training with these treats. Let me tell you something that is absolutely true. Have you ever seen AI where they make a dog look like it's smiling and it's the creepiest thing ever because it looks like a human smile? My dog did that when he had these treats. I mean, my dog is pretty nice to me. I have a sweet, sweet dog, Bueller. I love him. And he's always nice to me, but he's never been as obsessed with me as after when I gave him these treats. He loves them. He literally follows me around for the next hour begging for more. They're really, really, really solid, really good. It's real meat, and they are just little freeze-dried treats you give them. They love them. Visit stewartpet.com to learn more. That's STEWART pet.com.
So they go back inside, and it's like tense in the kitchen because everyone's back in there. You know, it's tense between Lindsay and Carl. It's tense between Kyle and Amanda. And then now Jesse excuses himself because he's going through it because he has his 5-year cancer checkup on Tuesday, and he simultaneously has felt something abnormal on his nut. So Wes goes to check in on Jesse, and he's crying, and it's so sad. This poor guy, I get the anxiety. And Wes is just saying, you can't run away from this. And he nestles Jesse's head into his tummy. And it's just such a sweet bro moment,
Yeah, they're pretty cute. And he's like, you don't have to be okay. And then they become bros again, start poking each other and stuff. And Jesse's like, yeah, I'll be fine in 2 days. And hopefully I'll be God, I'm such a bitch right now. And they start punching the air. And I don't know, it's bro time, They're like, haha, we're bros.
So now Kyle wants to go out and everything, and Lindsay's like, changing and showering and putting makeup on is not my journey tonight. It's sort of I don't know, job hunting for Carl. It's just not my journey.
And Kyle's just in Club Send It, by myself. I want to be by myself. Lover boy.
So then Lindsay is sitting on Ciara's bed, and Paige comes in and she's like, oh my God, Ciara, Lindsay made buffalo chicken dip, 2 batches of chicken nuggets, 2 pizzas, and did this all while dressed like an Amish wife. Isn't that so strange? Oh my God, hi Lindsay, didn't see you. I thought it was a pillow.
So then kitchen dancing, and the girls are like, I'm not going out. And Paige goes, I'm not going out. I was going to go, but now I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go with just the boys. And Ciara goes, there's Danielle. She goes, she doesn't count. Which I'm glad she said that, because fucking Danielle doesn't count. She's out there come on, guys. Can't believe these women are treating you like this. These women don't understand what it's like to have an empire.
CEO and founder. 2-for-1 drinks for all the CEO and founders. So the girls go to bed, and we see everyone at the club having a great time. And then it's 3:30 in the morning, and then they slam the door open, boom, and they all come in loud and annoying. And I was surprised that Carl stayed out late. Carl normally is in bed by 11 because I got Barris at 7. So, but he clearly was avoiding Lindsay, so he stayed out till 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah. So then Kyle, of course, still not able to ever read a room, walks right into his wife's room, or his room with his wife, who's complained all season that she hates the most about him, that he comes in literally at 3:30 every morning, wasted, and wakes her up. Walks into her bedroom at 3:30 in the morning, wasted, and wakes her up. Doesn't just come into the room and wakes her up. Comes in and is like, Amanda! Amanda! She's like, Kyle!
She pushes him away. So now it's the morning. People are waking up. Wes and Ciara are kissing. Wes is telling Ciara that Jesse is apprehensive about his cancer checkup. And then Carl and Lindsay are in bed, and Carl's these pillows absolutely suck. What are these pillows do not respect what I've built and what I've done for my family.
These pills could use some enthusiasm.
So Lindsay's like, okay, can we talk about yesterday? Okay, everybody, brace yourself. Here we fucking go again. Lindsay versus Carl. Fight 9,078 of the season. Let's do it.
So
I'm ready. I'm buckled in.
Lindsay, being the hysterical shrew that she is, says in a totally normal and soft and actually considerate and kind way, I understand your need and want for positive reinforcement and for me to be excited for your career. I'm like, God, she is so extra. What a fucking unsupportive bitch.
What a bitch.
Wow.
Totally,
Like, how about I
100%.
take it down a little bit? Take it down a little bit, Lindsay, with your quiet voice, okay?
And she's like, okay, look, you came in, you said there's no jobs for you at Besson, and then you want me to be excited. Like, I'm confused. Like, you're not saying I want to do this or I want to do this, and that's what I want to hear. It's like, this is what I want to do. Not just like, oh, I tried something and didn't get the job, you know? He's like, but that is what I'm doing. And she goes, okay. And he's like, but I just feel really defeated, and it feels like I'm being critiqued and questioned, and it makes me feel like I can't do anything right. Like, I can't make a decision without pissing you off. And she's like, but why do you feel like I'm pissed off?
But also, like, what are you expecting when you start working? Okay, like, you cannot be this delicate in a workplace, sir. Okay, so if you think you're gonna have issues with Lindsay, the way Lindsay's talking to you, congratulations. Wait till you start getting emails that say, per the previous email, or just circling back, or all that bullshit. He is hiding behind this, like, oh, I'm too sensitive. He's just trying to put it all back on her. And she's like, well, I'll be excited when you actually do these things. He's like, I feel really defeated, and like what I'm doing, it feels like I'm being critiqued. And I already said this, but I just feel like I'm being critiqued. And she goes, yeah, but like, why is it that you feel that way? She goes, because you make me feel that way. It's like, no, it's like, why is it that the words that she says translate to you as criticisms? Why? Like, that's what she's asking.
Yeah.
But I want to ride unicorns, and you said that was stupid. I mean, basically making me feel useless. So.
Yeah, you make me feel that way. And so she goes, I don't make you feel anything. You feel the way you feel on your own. I was like, yes. I love like using therapy talk against him. Like, see, like that's such a therapy thing to say. Like, I can't make, like, no one makes you feel the way you feel. Like, that's something you do. And so now he's cornered by therapy talk.
Well, that's the trick in gaslighting people, right? You make people feel like they're crazy, and then they start believing you, and then they go to therapy, and then they learn what you're doing. They learn to see exactly what you're doing, which I think she does at this point. So he's like, you have communication and behavior that affects me, Lindsay. And she's like, okay, what do you need from me, Carl?
I just want you to be pumped for me and excited because I'm at a crossroads in my career. I want softness and I want tenderness. I'm at a crossroads.
You're not at a crossroads, Carl. You're not at a crossroads. You're not doing anything. It's almost a year. You're doing nothing. There is no crossroads. You're a salesman, okay? You got fired from selling one thing, then you almost got fired for selling another thing, and then you didn't sell things. That's not a crossroad. It's a road that you're just not on. You're on the side of the
You're at a
road,
bus
Carl. You're eating McDonald's in the side of the fucking road, Carl. There's no crossroads here. That would entail driving.
You're at the Sonic. Okay, you're at the drive-through.
Fuck's sake, man.
So Lindsay's like just staring at him like, this fucking guy, you know? She goes, yeah, but I'm doing a lot also. He goes, yeah, that's not lost on me. But I'm like not always going to be like, oh, I'm so excited for you. Oh, but then you patronize me by doing that. You're just like, oh yeah, I'll say yes to everything. You just said you want her to be excited about everything. And now she's like, I can't be like yes everything. Like, oh, you're patronizing me.
Yeah. Wow, this fucking guy.
So she's like,
I'm just staying calm today because after last week I was like, that's too much, you know, and I just get so into it and I get so embroiled in it. And then this week I literally laughed the whole time because I feel like once I got it out of my system and then I could just see what Carl's doing. And now especially that it seems like Lindsay sees what Carl's doing, it was easy to just kind of back off and then just enjoy it for what it is, which is Carl failing his manipulation so brilliant. I mean, just so badly. It's just, at this point, it's just fun to watch. And Lindsay is so good. It's like she's getting annoyed, but I feel like she sees what he's doing and she's not giving in. And then she's just like, okay, I'm going to go party anyway.
But I feel like I see Lindsay as someone who's actually doing the work in the sense of like she is going to therapy and like taking the lessons, right? Because Carl is saying all the sort of things that even as recently as earlier in the season would make her go nuts. And she has been calm. She's like, okay, what do you need from me? Like, how should I say this? And then this is not what I can, like, you know, he's like, I need you to be enthusiastic. She's like, I can't be like that all the time. And so she's like, so that's your expectation for me. He goes, yeah, you patronize. You're not listening to me. There's a difference between like, yes, and like, hey, that sounds awesome. And she goes, did I not say that at any point? He goes, no, it's like, it's like, I don't understand. Let's do this. You know what? How about this? I will put a PowerPoint presentation together and I'll present you with all the different options and we can talk it through.
Okay, so I didn't really get what this meant. I could see her face that it was not great with her, what he just said, but then they show the clips of Stravi making
and
the
music
PowerPoint.
went like this. The music went, they didn't even do the boom. They did like a whole bunch of cymbals falling on the floor. Because I knew. I was like, oh my God, not PowerPoint.
It didn't hit me, but he is mocking Stravi, and Stravi, he's bringing up another relationship. He's bringing up a failed relationship of hers that she thought was going to be more, and he's throwing it in her face and mocking how stupid she was. This guy's a piece of shit, and I hope that anybody who's been fooled by 5 seconds drops the bullshit at this point, because this is just low. This is just mean. And so she's like, okay, so now you're mocking me. He goes, yeah, exactly. How does it feel? What did she mock you?
She didn't mock him.
Asking you to get a job is not mocking you, Carl. And asking you to have a plan of action is not fucking mocking you. And telling you she doesn't want to spend all of her money to open a brick and mortar place for a fucking sober bar. They already have sober bars, Carl. They're called ice cream shops. You fucking dickweed. Okay?
But also, like, he doesn't have
mocking you. This is mocking you. This.
And also, like, by the way, he has no track record in business that says that he is someone who would be an authority in terms of opening up a brick and mortar thing. Like, he has no experience in that. So why would he just dive into that, especially when he doesn't have a great track record in business in general? Like, he has to, like, build that up, and that's why she's not excited. And so the fact that, like, he, like, perceives her asking tough questions and wanting to challenge him and push him to like not go do something that's safe, but like really just like put yourself out there. He perceives that as criticism, just shows how fragile he is with his ego. And he's been able to get away with being like, I'm just like trying my best. And when that fails, the real side of it comes out, which is that he literally mocks her over this PowerPoint thing. And by the way, if you watch that footage, he would see, as we see in the flashback, how delighted Lindsay is that Stravi made a PowerPoint. That is her love language. And the fact that he can't actually even do that as a love language gesture for Lindsay is kind of shitty.
Yeah, I mean, she's asking for a simple plan. Not even a plan. She's asking for a declaration of this is what I want to do, right? So anyway, so he's getting mean now. He's got he gets that glaze that comes over his eyes when he's being mean. Like we see like the real Carl start poking through, which we've seen for seasons, that he always manages to hide for at least half the season. So we see that poking through those glazed eyes, and that's like a glass comes over them. I'm not suggesting he's on drugs, because that's what it sounds like when I'm like, he's got glazed eyes. I don't mean that. It's just like the glass comes over his eyes, like, it's evil Carl is back. Yeah. So she's like, what's wrong with you? And she's like, why are you so mean? And he goes, you literally patronized me to my face, and that's mean. That's mean. Where's the patronizing part? Oh, also, someone in the comments said that in the after show, he was saying that $20,000 coach, that $20,000 that he spent on a career coach, was basically him paying somebody to help him get over the trauma that was caused working for Loverboy. So now he's saying, okay, I want to go back to Loverboy, and she questions it, and he's acting like, how dare you mock me? You spent $20,000 of our dollars to get over the trauma, and you were in the fucking fetal position.
Yeah, she is totally right in this situation, like unabashedly. So she says, I'm saying that's what it feels like. You need me to be a yes man. He goes, you don't even listen. I need softness and warmth because this is like such a big thing. She goes, are you sure that you even want to marry me? Because I am not always going to be soft and warm. And he goes, oh, are you sure you want to marry me? Because I'm not always going to be Mr. Nice Guy, apparently. I'm always going to be an asshole to you. Which is him saying, which doesn't have anything to do with anything. But now he's upset that clearly his nice guy thing that he's been trying to do has been like, we've seen through it now. He's let down his guard accidentally on camera. And now he's even angry at her because she got this out of him. She made him look like the bad guy on TV, which is the thing that he's been trying to avoid the most.
Right. And it's funny because both of them are just faking it. And they're both admitting that they just fake it. Because she's like, well, I can't be this supportive. Because we've seen her all season being like, hey, honey, that is great. You have a job interview? Wonderful. And doing exactly what he wants. And so she's like, so I have to do that all the time? And he's saying, well, yeah. And she's like, no. Do you even want to marry? I'm not even that person. And he's like, well, I'm not this person either. So, yeah, you two. It's time to just, just call it. Tap out.
She's like, why is it impossible for you just to take it down a notch? Just take it down. He goes, because you only hear what you want to hear. I'm like, you're the one who's complaining that her saying, how about something else, is a criticism and not soft or warm. And she's like, if I only hear what I want to hear and don't listen to anything, then why would I ask so many questions to get more information?
He's like, I just want, hold on a minute. A little softness and a little tenderness. Okay? I got some tenderness. That's what I'm saying.
Last week I was overwhelmed. But now I'm just whelmed, and I need to be overwhelmed with softness and tenderness. Overwhelm me, bro. Put your softness and tenderness on me. Oh.
I want so much tenders that people are offering me honey mustard to dip them into. Okay?
And then, I can actually do that. I just made it last night for everyone. Lindsay's like, finally, she goes, you want softness and tenderness, but we're adults, Carl. We need at some point to realize that things aren't always going to be butterflies and rainbows.
He's like, I'm going into the bathroom. I've just been emotionally abused in America.
So he goes into the bathroom, and we just get a close-up of the door of poor Carl in the bathroom, who's just been completely terrorized by a woman.
Finally, something soft and tender. Charmin toilet paper. So Lindsay just walks out like, oh, my God, this fucking guy. So meanwhile, in the backyard, in the pool, like Wes and Jesse are hanging out. People are just hanging out, and Wes is talking about how Jesse had a hard cry. It's hard to fuck after you have a cry like that. And then Sierra's like, oh, hey, Sierra. So they're just like talking, hanging out. And Jesse just talking about how it's really hard, like you can work so hard in life, and then God looks down on you and just says, like, I'm about to fuck up your whole life right now.
Yeah. So then Carl and Lindsay, more tension in the bedroom. So now Carl's packing, and Danielle and Lindsay are talking. So Lindsay's like, okay, we're going to hang out by the pool, right? And Danielle's like, oh, I don't know. It just felt natural. And basically Danielle asks if Carl's okay. And she's like, no, because I talked to him about the conversation in the kitchen yesterday, and he just wasn't having it. And he was mean and rude.
So then we see Carl. So Carl, while they're having
I'm surprised that Danielle didn't call him right there and be like, hi, Carl. It's me, CEO. I just wanted you to know I support you, and I am here for you. Okay.
Hi, this is Danielle, CEO and founder. I have a 4:30 available for which I can say I'm here and can support you. Also have a 4 o'clock, a 5 o'clock, 5:30, 6:30, 6 o'clock, really anytime.
For English, press 1. Also, to pick me, press 1. Okay. Also, to pick me, press 2. Okay. Also, to pick me, press 3. Pick me.
So Carl is passive aggressively packing. He's like packing his suitcase, like, oh, I hope I'm not folding the shirt too loudly so people can hear that I'm packing because I'm mad right now. Softness and tenderness. And so...
And this is the sound of white jeans going into a suitcase miserably because they can't get any tenderness or softness.
It's amazing how you can use so much fabric softener and still not get the softness you need. Take that, Snuggies. So downstairs, meanwhile, in terms of the other fragile male, Kyle feels defeated, and it's all because of Amanda. So Paige is like, okay, well, what did she say yesterday, Kyle? He's like, well, she basically was just saying, hey, I want to pursue something that makes me happy. And I'm like, okay. And you don't want that for her?
That's the literal line, which is so funny. He's so miserable about it.
And I love...
She wants to pursue something that makes her happy. And I'm like, okay.
And I just love, like, Paige, like, quietly cross-examining him. And you don't want her to? Do you notice the lilt in my voice suggesting that you're being ridiculous right now and all of America can see it and they're laughing at you through me? I am the best self for America right now. Do you understand that?
Does it feel good to go poopy in your pants? Does that feel good?
do you want an apple juice? So he's like, I mean, of course I want her to be able to do that, but like, I just don't know how else to put it. Like, if I are more involved, the business would be in a better place. It's that simple. The only reason why Loverboy is tanking right now is because Amanda's waking up at 10 a.m. Sure, Kyle. Sure.
Yeah. 1 minute she would be fired and she sucks, and the second minute he needs her or Loverboy's gonna fail.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
Planning a party, honoring a recent grad, maybe it's a birthday or an anniversary, whatever you're celebrating, Whole Foods Market has what you need to make the party pop.
I mean, if there's anyone, you used to live across from a Whole Foods, Ronnie, and
God.
I remember you were always talking about you would just grab like this to-go salad, right?
Whole Foods was my kitchen and still is. I'm right by one now. I love Whole Foods. Let me just say their mac and cheese is some of the best in the world. I love their mac and cheese. Any Whole Foods location you go to, that mac and cheese is Stella.
But it's not just even the pre-made stuff. It's also just the quality of their proteins. Like if I have to get a nice piece of steak or a nice piece of fish, the first place I'm going to go to is Whole Foods.
Do you need a cooking break? Try delectable Whole Foods Market Catering. Their extensive menu has festive options for any occasion. Order at shop.wfm.com. Start every celebration at Whole Foods Market. So Paige is like, wouldn't it be better if she were actually, like, unlike all of your customers and excited about your drink?
Yeah. And if she's not as excited, then wouldn't you want her to find something that makes her want to get up at the morning at 7 a.m. and work really hard? Because she wants to feel like she accomplished something and did something on her own. I mean, yeah, if that's what she wants.
She's like, yeah, she's not going to do that. If you don't support her, she's just going to keep going into a deeper shell. And he's like, I don't think everybody really appreciates what's going on here.
So now Sierra joins in, and she's much more direct. Oh, did Amanda say she's going to quit Loverboy? He's like, no. So what are you up in arms about? You have to understand.
That was so funny. I like when she walks in and she goes, so what are you guys talking about? And she goes, Kyle and Amanda. And she goes, wow, real shocker there.
Yes. And so she's like, you have to understand, she is so wrapped up in your entire world. I mean, things are so bleak for her. She dragged us to an Old Navy, okay? And we went there for her, to support her.
I tried on a dress with flowers printed on it.
I had to pretend I was like Molly Sims in 2003, dancing to Casey and the Sunshine Band in one of their commercials.
I actually went to a store called Lindsay Navy.
So Sierra's like, look, everything is about you. Like, what if she had something that's just for her? I don't think of Loverboy as mine. Like, I think that it's ours. Like, I think that's what we've been working towards, building our future. I'm like, it's literally called Loverboy. It's not called Lovergirl. It's literally Kyle. It's you.
It's your.
In a can.
You didn't have to quit your job to go work for her company. She had to quit her job to come work for your company, Kyle. It's always your thing. So Kyle's like, well, I'm not happy either, but no one's asked me. We don't have to, Kyle. You've got a mullet and you're drunk every fucking second of the day, Kyle. Okay? We know.
And I love that Sierra is just has no patience for this. She's like, she needs stuff that's going to be that's going to make her happy. And she needs to find her own identity outside of her relationship with you. Because if she's not truly happy, then you're really going to be working with nothing. Like, you're already working on fumes with her. She's going to be down to zero soon.
So she's like, if you want to talk about not being happy, then that's a conversation too. And he's like, all right, fine. I'm just going to quit and become a DJ and go on tour then. By the way, last week I was saying he's got to be kidding. Like, that has to be something where he's going, well, guess what I want to do? Ride a fucking pony in the sky, But no, he really wants to be a DJ and tour around. Someone said that he was just DJing somewhere and Amanda was there supporting him.
Wow.
I think I read that. But wow, I just never know what's a joke on this channel anymore. I'm completely ruined by this channel.
I can only imagine what his remix of Getting Jiggy With It sounded like. So Sierra's like,
I like big butts and I cannot lie. I will always love you. It's like, wow, it's a weird remix.
He wants to hear the Journey remix. Don't stop believing like Amanda. So So Sierra's like, you're not even thinking about her well-being or even her as a person. She goes, that's not bullshit. I can't do this anymore. So Kyle, the adult, starts to walk off in the tantrum. And Paige is like, I don't want to have this conversation in 5 years that she's leaving you. You're starting that slippery soap, Kyle. So she's like going to get so unhappy. And Sierra's like, yeah, she's going to get resentful, Kyle.
Yeah, and you're going to lose your marriage. What? Because of a company? You're really, you're at a big crossroads, unlike Carl, who's still on the side of the road. At least you've made it to a road that crosses this road, Kyle, okay? But can't you just make her more confident? And Carl's like going upstairs like, oh, really? This was going to bring happiness and confidence? I just think it's more complicated than that.
Is the worst thing in the world that she goes off and she doesn't work for Loverboy? You're acting like it's the craziest thing in the world. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hire another creative director and everything's going to be perfect. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a great plan, actually. Get a creative director. You'll be set. You're fine.
Yeah. Who are you threatening us with a good time? Like, what the hell, dude? And so
like
Sierra's like, yeah, you're selfish. So they're basically not letting him off the hook, even though he's stomping around crying and acting like a child. And so he's like, it's bullshit. And they're like, it's not about Loverboy. Loverboy could tank tomorrow. And he goes, Loverboy is tanking.
They're like, oh. That's kind of funny, actually. Wait, hold on. Let's laugh. Oh my God, you heard Loverboy's tanking? That's hilarious. Okay, we're back.
Okay, well, do you want her to be Leonardo DiCaprio going down with the orchestra, or do you want her to be Kathy Bates on a lifeboat?
I want her to be Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay, is this a trick question? Yeah, of course I want her to be. Who wants to be Kathy Bates?
So Paige is like, you can't even notice that she fucking hates her life, okay? She's upset. She wants something herself. She wants to service the community of big-breasted women, okay? She wants to be confident.
When are beautiful, thin, big-breasted blonde women ever gonna get a leg up in this world, Kyle?
Oh, someone say something that didn't really sound very soft.
They need a hero.
Kyle's like, I will never stop anyone from being happy and following their passions. Well, that's what you're doing, dummy. You're also doing it in a bucket hat. So think about that too.
Oh my God. Sobbing in his tie-dyed pink bucket hat.
You guys are simplifying the shit out of this. And Sierra's like, she compromises on everything for you, Kyle. Everything. She's the reason you even have Loverboy, stupid.
And like, now he's really like, wow, what? So now he's like, why don't you say that? So he leaves and he goes to literally sob. And Sierra's like, you are such a brat. He goes, yeah, I'm a brat. You guys have no idea what you're fucking talking about, right?
Which is the toxic male thing to do when confronted with hard truths, to be like, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm the man. I know things you don't understand. It's more complicated than your simple female mind can understand. So Paige is like,
wipe the snot off your bucket hat.
Yeah. So Paige is like, you act like we don't know what you're talking about, like it's too high level for us. We watch her cry. Is that too high level? I watch her cry. Okay, don't talk about me being high level when you can barely reach the kitchen countertop, okay, Kyle?
So then he goes to the bedroom and starts sobbing. And Paige is like, oh my God, he's such a little boy. So they just go out and they're like, hi, everybody. They're all like, what's up? What's next? And so Wes is like, how's Kyle Beast? And she goes, well, he probably won't be talking to me. And he's like, just cook him a bit. She goes, yeah, he's just so dumb. He's just like full price for just jeans. Did you know that you could buy jeans at Lindsay Navy for like $10 year round?
It's a weird world out there. That's why I'm like, Amanda, just go out there. Go to New Jersey, drink some Coronas in the backyard, and just make some shit. Because if Lindsay Navy can make it, so can your weird bikini dreams that we pretend
he's just
to support.
So old-fashioned. I'm like, why don't you just go turn on the Tube TV and watch some Lindsay Yeller? Jeez.
Then Paige tells us, Kyle always says Amanda does nothing. She's lazy. She does nothing for the company. So why are you freaking out that she might potentially leave? Maybe just thought she could leave. Just have that thought. You're probably scared. You probably scared her into not leaving, which is actually really making me really mad at this moment. Also, again, I went to Lindsay Navy for her. This is so dumb. I'm furious. This is against my brand.
And that's partly her fault for not getting him used to it, So that's why I call Craig. Hold on 1 second. Chicken, hi. Chicken. Hey, chicken. I'm leaving you. Oh, okay, bye. I'll tell him later I was kidding, but it's good to keep them on their toes, you know?
So now Carl goes up to Kyle because Kyle's in his room crying against the wall. He's got his fingers in his eyes. He's like crying. And so Carl's like, hey, bud, you all right? I was packing my suitcase in case you noticed. And just as I was folding a non-soft, non-tender shirt, I couldn't help but notice that someone else had been brutalized by some non-soft and non-tender words. Oh.
Listen, and Kyle's like, oh, can I articulate it? Can't articulate the things that are going on, but women are saying things to me that are hurting, okay? And it's like people want me, it's like people think I don't want Amanda to be happy or confident. And Carl's like, be gentle with yourself, man. Because, listen what I've seen. I've seen firsthand the things you've had to go through. And, they don't understand the risk and the pressure you put on yourself. Like Amanda, what has Amanda done for this guy?
You know that Amanda's literally been there side by side doing
know.
the exact same, the same things that he's been doing. I see the Instagram. And also I saw all the things that you had to go to with him when you were talking about how much he traumatized you in your time with him and how much you weren't appreciated, by the way, acting like Amanda just doesn't appreciate you, but you're the only one who appreciates Kyle. Acting like, by the way, you're the most unappreciative fucking person of Kyle.
Bro,
listen, I said I wasn't going to get mad. I'm going to fire your ass again, sir.
Listen, I've seen what you have to go through, bro. Like, she doesn't understand what you have to deal with, okay? You have to deal with employees that are, like, coked up, that, like, don't even show up for conference calls, Like, you have to, like, deal with people who just, like, leave you and then say that they want to draft a business plan and then they never do it. Like, there's a lot on your plate. It's like, Carl, that was you, man.
Oh, that's true. Okay. But I've seen you have to deal with people that you didn't even know if they were going to be bringing their MacBook into the office. I mean, that kind of person. Yeah, that was also you, man. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
The kind of person that would only work for you if you offered them a piece of your soda business.
That's also you.
All right. Well, it's great working with you. Amanda's a real bitch, right?
Listen, they don't understand, okay? If anyone understands, it's me. Because you can't let a company get in the way for marriage. Or as I like to say, you can't focus on like jobs and job search and careers instead of love. Oh, God, it would be terrible if someone did that.
When he says, this is the language he uses, they don't understand. If anyone understands, it's me. That is just such...
You quit the company. How do you understand?
It's also just the language is just such manipulative language. And these two are hilarious that they've run out of people to manipulate. Now that the people that they're used to acting like this around have blown them off and are like, I'm not taking this today. Now they're using this language on each other. And it's funny.
Yes.
It's like you have no one else to use it on, so here you come.
Nobody understands but me. You couldn't possibly do this without me. Oh.
Yeah, it is hilarious. I'm like, Carl understands. Mm-hmm. So Amanda's basically just like, I just want my husband for a second to act like to be a husband instead of the founder of a company. Founder and CEO. Quiet, Danielle. Empire.
So, of course, Carl tries to make it about himself.
He's like, I'm having the same thing at times with Lindsay.
No, you're not. Kyle has a company. Carl, you have white jeans.
Yes. You have a very metallic luggage. Very, like, boxy metallic luggage. That's what you have. So, outside, Sierra's like, where's Carl? And Lindsay goes, pouting. She's like, I tried to bring up the conversation from yesterday in the kitchen, and he again got like defensive and like wasn't having it. He was like, I need you to be soft and tender and be happy. Like, oh my God, like what a pussy. Why don't you guys ever tell me about this guy?
So funny. And Gabby goes, I think that soft is a trigger word for you.
And I know that's because you just poured your drink on my head when I said soft, and you just poured another one.
It's just so I love that Lindsay. It's like you can't even say soft around Lindsay or she'll beat you up, And
also,
she goes, like we have stuff to do. Like I'm planning all of our wedding. I'm doing all of the jobs, and now I'm supposed to be soft and tender. I'm sorry, that is unmanageable. I can do a lot, but I will not be soft and tender.
No. And by the way, if Gabby knows it, Carl should know it. If we all know it, we all know soft is a trigger for Lindsay. Lindsay is not soft. Summer should be fun. And Lindsay is not soft. Like these are the
That's
things
why
that we
he's
know.
saying it. He's saying it because he's trying to make it so that she has to break up with him. He's just like, please don't turn me into Sandoval. But she's just not doing it. You know, she's like, we'll work through it. He's like, no, please. That's all I don't want to hear is we'll work through it.
And by the way, something that sort of is glossed over here, and it's really not, there's not a lot of attention on this, but she is putting together this whole wedding. And you know, this is a high profile wedding. This is a celebrity reality star wedding. There are probably brand deals. There's probably something with Marshalls, probably something with like, you know, Dr. Scholl's, you know, orthopedic inserts,
Beach.
whatever, Pizza Beach, everything, you know, like all these things. She's putting this all together. She's been arranging the whole gosh darn thing. Gosh, I'm starting to speak quaintly. The whole gosh darn thing, but it's a lot of work, wedding planning, and he's doing nothing because it's just a lot right now, you know?
It's like so much.
There's a lot on her plate, and it's like, no, but there's a lot on my plate, you know? Like, I came up with this idea. One
All that
idea.
nothing I'm doing.
So, okay. So now there's just still going on, you know, like the guys are like,
Yeah, we're so defeated. Oh, these women.
okay, so they bro hug, and then Jesse's getting hungry, and you know everybody's kind of trying to move. Okay, so the girls are hanging out now, and Amanda's like, "This is so nice. It's the first summer that all the girls are getting along." And I have to say, I 100% agree. It is so nice, and this is coming from a gay who just loves women fighting on Bravo. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's, you know, we love a good dramatic lady fight with some bobs and some cynical, you know, bon mots, if you will. But this is really nice. This has been really lovely.
Well, also, this cast is stacked with just these great, strong women. And to see them like putting their attentions to basically schooling these like man babies instead of schooling each other is really invigorating.
Yeah. Because I feel like the guys are always in control on this show because it's always about like, oh my God, does this guy like me? Like every season is like, does he really like me? Do you think he really likes me? Does he really like me? Does he really like me? And it's nice that it's like, do I really like him? It's nice to see that turned around where it's like, no, wait a minute. What am I winning here? What's my prize? Like, I'm the one chasing fucking Kyle? Kyle's on a fucking mullet, drunk every day, falling down and pissing in a bush. I'm following that guy? Do I want this? It's nice to see people starting to like come out of the haze. It's like when the Westworld robots just kind of like started waking up, you know, and then killing Anthony Hopkins. Spoiler alert.
So Kyle comes outside, like, oh, he has like his lower lip out. Oh, and Sierra's like, are you okay? Have you found some scotch tape for your ego? And he's like, I would say on a scale of no to no, I'm a pretty big no. I just want to say, by the way, everyone, I feel sick to my stomach about that conversation, and I feel very misunderstood. I'm like, how about your wife, the most misunderstood person who said, I just want to experiment with a side hustle, and you threw her basically out to the wolves. So he's like, I understand where you're coming from, a stupid place. And of course, I want you to be happy and fulfilled, which is why I want you to stay at Loverboy, the most happy and fulfilling job on earth. I'm just having a really hard time explaining to you and your friends, everybody, the crossroads. Oh, I'm at a crossroads too. No, Carl, real crossroads. The company's at and where we're
But this
at.
is what he does. He keeps coming out and crying and then thinks if he just rephrases what he said, that it's going to be different. The reaction's going to be different. He's still saying, hey, no one understands what I'm going through. That's not an apology, dude. Like, what the fuck? But he just keeps crying, so she has to baby him. And she's like, listen, I think you're crying because these people called you out, and you're starting to see that it's not just me. You're starting to hear what I said. And he's like, but I will be there for you. She's like, yeah, you're stuck with me. And then they kiss. And he's like, I will do everything I can to help you. And I'll make sure there's going to be 30 hours in a day instead of 24 hours in a day. She's like, oh, my God.
No, stop ruining
Why?
Stop ruining my New Jersey drinking Coronas, designing bikinis. Please. So then it's like, okay, great. Everything's solved. So now it's time to pack up and dip out, as they say. No, don't say dip out on Bravo. It's bad news.
Yeah, Jesse keeps saying, like, it's time to dip out. It's time to dip out.
It's time to dip out.
So Carl is sitting on a sofa near the front door, and he's like twirling his foot. Like he's doing that thing like, oh, I've been ready for like 2 hours, actually. I've been really want to leave. But I'm making a huge sacrifice by sitting here and waiting for Lindsay to have her pool day because I'm actually the more responsible and better person here. I'm at a crossroads of twirling my foot and wanting to go into the Kia. So then, Wes goes and tells Sierra they're going to go horseback riding. But now we get to the fun stuff. So they're up. Carl and Lindsay are upstairs, and Lindsay's packing, and Carl's like, hey, so you're going to go to Dockers, which sounds like it's like a club somewhere, like in Montauk. And she's like, yeah. He's like, well, we hadn't talked about it, so I was just like trying to understand what your plan was. I'm so fucking passive aggressive, like just right out the gate. So passive aggressive, this guy.
I also just have to say, they are in the widest place in the world if they even hang out in a place called Dockers. Of course they do. Of course they fucking do.
Yeah, I just like want to decompress and just like chill and then like make my way back to the city. It's like,
whoa. You know what? Hopefully when you're there, you can order a side of, wait for it, tenderness. That would be nice. Softness, maybe. A little side of softness because I guess I'm going to drive back alone.
Yeah, why the fuck would I want to get back in the car with you, you fucking baby? How about you accuse me of more shit and call me a monster a little more on TV? Why the fuck would I want to drive back with you? Get out of here.
I would go to the Dockers, but I just looked up their menu on Yelp, and apparently there's no soft serve or chicken tenders. So nothing for me there, apparently. Just a lot of hard seltzer. So he's like, I guess I'll drive back alone. And she's like, I don't think it's fair to make me feel guilty about wanting to go. It's like, well, you clearly didn't consider me when you decided you were not going to be in the Kia. Whoa. Oh, God.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to do the Dockers thing, I guess I'm going to just head out there.
So she's like, okay, well, how about I just put my stuff in the car? And he goes,
You're putting it in our car? Oh, really? You're going to put your stuff in our car?
Yeah, because you're driving the car home. Oh, okay. I'm just trying to understand, which, by the way, that's his passive-aggressive language. I'm just trying to understand when he already understands exactly what he's talking about. But he's just like, I'm just trying to understand because what you're saying is so ludicrous. And it takes a real genius like me to be able to decipher the cockamamie bullshit that comes out of your mouth. And you're so lucky that you have someone like me who can have the patience to understand the stupid plans because they don't make any sense whatsoever. Anyway, I'm just like trying to understand. You're like going to get into like Danielle's car when we have a perfectly big Kia. And you're not like being in the Kia with me when we're trying to land like a Kia influencer.
So it's just you. You're going to get in the car, but not the luggage.
Wait. From the top. Luggage in the car, you not in the car, but me driving. Like, am I supposed to have a conversation with the luggage? I don't understand.
So I'm just by myself in the car.
And she's like, me alone. Why is this a fight?
And he goes, this isn't a fight.
And she's like, okay, so are you upset that you're driving home alone? He's like,
well, I was hoping we could be together, but I understand that you want to do something else.
Yeah, you're a fucking asshole. Bye.
That's fine.
Go
that's
have
fine.
fun trying to villainize somebody else the whole way home. Okay, maybe you can offer like another woman a ride. Give someone else a ride around the rink.
It's just his passive aggression, his like weak passive aggression.
This is just straight
up
aggression.
And I say this as someone who often engages with this exact kind of passive aggression, which is why I get so angry because I basically see myself in it, right? So he's like, oh, yeah, okay, no, I'm not mad. It's not a fight. I'm just trying to understand. I guess I had this thought that would be a happy couple who love each other driving in a Kia on the highway, but you had an idea that you would rather be with other people, and I didn't realize that you hated me like that. That's fine. It's on me. It's on me. It's on me.
It's so funny watching him deflate because here we go. It's yet another, what is this, at least the third in a row that he has tried to poke at her when they get to the house to make her lose it for the cameras, and she hasn't done it. He's tried so hard. It hasn't worked. She's walked away from every fucking fight, and now she's like, you know what? I'm just going to save us both and just drive with Danielle. He'll need to work through it in his mind. And now he's even trying to use that and start a fight on the way out, and she's not giving him that. So what does he do? He leaves without taking her luggage. This guy is the worst, and she still doesn't lose it. She just goes, oh God, fucking Carl, and puts the bag in Danielle's car. He is trying so hard, and it's just blowing up in his face. What a loser.
And he's like, oh, I guess I just have to drive back myself. I'm like, you do remember that you had a storyline this season where you came out a day later to avoid the Friday fights? Like, you can do the drive by yourself.
Exactly.
Now, is it that because you were really looking forward to like tear into her off camera? Is that what was going on? I don't know. So Lindsay has
Listen, we know that the one thing Carl has only ever been consistently good at on this show is gaslighting. And now he's even bad at that. I mean, that's even failing now. So good luck to you, sir.
Well, he just maybe wanted her in the car so that way they could, I don't know, it's going to come up with some sick diss about like gaslighting and getting gas for the car and her gas card. And I realized it was bad, so I stopped it. But I gave you a behind the scenes look at how bad it was. But he's muttering,
BTS of joke fail.
Yeah, BTS of joke fail. Ronnie, I just need you to be a little softer. To be more tender about my bad joke. About gaslighting and gas cards. But he's
if I tried to explain all my bad jokes, we'd literally be here 5 years. I do not have the time.
But it is so, like, this is such a dick move that he's going to drive off and then, like, she can't put the luggage in the car. Like, you can be mad. You can be mad and be like, we'll talk about this later. But to drive off. And then she has to cram it into Danielle's tiny-ass Mini Cooper that she's named Cacio and Pepe because it's black and white. Like, okay, I've had enough. If this is the quality of your founding and CEOing, consider this Shark Tank offer revoked.
Are you going to take Cacio Pepe back to the city?
So yeah, that's him. He's a mean person, you know. And Lizzie has moments too where she can be a mean person. But it's not the marriage where the mean works together, you know. I think it's better to have one mean and one nice. And those blend better. I find in my family that always works.
But he just canceled out. He just canceled out everything. Okay, like the thing that like the pro Carls have been holding on to was Lindsay at the beginning of the season, twice in a row, 2 weekends in a row, saying like accusing him of still being on drugs, which is a really big thing. That was her meanest moment of the season. But now he has done something extraordinarily like blatantly mean over something so stupid, which is that she wants to go and like decompress with friends.
Yeah. Well,
so he lost the higher
good
ground.
riddance. Have fun, loser. So she's out and she's just, it's so funny how dumbfounded she is. So she's talking to us and she's like, I'm just like asking for a couple of hours and you can't even take my suitcase home.
Yeah.
What? Like she's
wild.
Literally so confused. It's really funny. So then a not funny part, Jesse goes to get coffee with his mom, Cheryl, and they talk about what it's like to cancer possibly being back at their door after everything they've gone through. And it's a lot. It's sad.
It's very sad and scary. And he's just very anxious going into his check. And they just sort of like talk about how hard it was in the previous cancer experiences, et cetera. And the mom's traumatized.
So then we go to a horseback riding date with West and Sierra.
Yeah, they get to this stable and there's a sign that goes, whoa. I don't know why. There's just a sign that said, whoa. So
the Ramona Singer stable.
Whoa. Okay.
You want to ride this horse? Her name is, I'm sorry. Okay. And this one's name is Okay.
So West is talking about how he's normally so selfish in life and he normally like backs out of relationships, and Sierra's the one he's liked the most so far since whenever, and just like he just wants to make sure he's like forward and honest when the time comes, yada yada yada, which also made me think like if there was a situation where West was sleeping around and he was hiding it from Sierra, was that what he was referring to when he says, I just want to make sure I'm forward and honest when the time comes, and they're trying to make it seem like he wants to be emotionally honest? I don't know. That's my conspiracy theory. But I'm also like I'm like really over the thing about the guy who is like afraid to commit and is scared by relationships and then wants a trophy when they decide that they actually like someone that they haven't run away. Like, congratulations for being an adult. Like, I don't think you get
or like you're doing a favor to the other person, right?
Yeah.
Like, well, you know, normally I'm not with anyone, but she's the closest I've come. Like, oh wow,
So
what a lucky girl.
You get an extra punch on your subway card.
Yeah.
So they ride horses.
Sierra's all excited because it's a horse date, and it's like, it's like really hitting her soft spot. It's like finding out something that means a lot to her and taking her to do it. And so he's doing the thing where he's going to lift you up and then be like, but I don't want a commitment. You know, it's like, I just can't with this person. And I'm not saying, look, I don't think he has to be like, oh my God, I like Sierra. We need to get married. I'm not ever going to call anybody ever again or date anybody else. And this is it. We're in a relationship. But his whole thing is just like trying to get sex. You know what I mean? And there's that thing when you date people where back in the old days, it used to be like, don't give away. Why would I what is it? Why did I fuck a cow and I get the milk for free? What is it? Why did I buy the cow and I get the milk for free or whatever? It's like an old grandma saying. But, you know, then you don't give the guy what he wants right away, and then he just fakes it longer. And then you fuck him, and then he still just dumps you right away. So I don't know that I've subscribed to the whole thing of like, you know, don't sleep with the guy or whatever. It's just, I think hookup culture has taken it so far to the other way that it's like now you're just expected. Gay culture has had it forever where it's just fucking. You don't even know the other person's name. I mean, if you even go on a date, that makes it very special, at least in my experience. And so I think, and that's a lot of older experience too, not necessarily the same. But you know what I'm saying? I think that hookup culture has taken it so far where it's like, we're so proud and we can have sex with whoever we want, which is great. But it's like we've taken all the emotion out of it to where now it's weird to have any emotion about it. And it's not, it shouldn't be weird to have any emotions when you're like creating a love story with somebody.
Yeah. So West is like, you know,
it was a very long way of saying a very simple thing, but it bugs me. Sorry.
So West is basically like, you know what? Like we should go. We should go somewhere. Like we should go like Thanksgiving. Let's come home for me on Thanksgiving, you know? And this, I think, immediately lands on Sierra's radar. Like she has been to the school of Luke's travel agency where he's like, oh, you got to come to Minnesota. Come to Minnesota. I'm in love with you. Come to Minnesota. So she's heard the invitations, the hollow invitations to join the family. And I think this what pings her. And so she's like, so what's your objective here? Like, you know, because I want to be married with kids eventually. So I date intentionally, you know, and I'm just like not interested in throwing time into a relationship that's just fun. And he's like, well, I mean, I don't have a perfect game plan of moving forward, but like I've like often gotten to this place in a relationship and then stopped. So that should make you feel special that I haven't stopped yet, you know? And like my whole life is kind of like, okay, like I get to a point that I tiptoe out of relationships because they frighten me. And like, you know, I'm scared of dating. I'm like, you don't get brownie points for announcing that you're going to tiptoe out because you are still going to tiptoe out of this. Like you don't get brownie points for doing that, you know?
You're also on Bravo. We've seen this like 9 zillion times. You're the template for every fucking guy on Bravo. You come on and you talk in your fucking baby voice about you just been so hurt. You just can't be in another relationship. You can't commit. You're on TV. You're going to get laid more than ever. And you don't want to have to deal with having a girlfriend. And you don't want to have to deal with the villainy of leading somebody on. So good for you for being honest, but you're still being a douchebag here by taking her on a horseback riding date, acting like you want something romantic when you don't. And also you came on here saying, oh, well, I need to have my life more in shape before I really start dating someone. Like, I don't even have a job. Well, now you do have a really good job and you're still coming up with some other fucking excuse. So stop wasting people's time. You know she wants more, so stop just trying to fuck her and that's all. You know she wants more than that. So fucking move on, douche.
Because he's saying all these kind of like empty things. He's like, I'm just like afraid to give up being single because I've always been so. He snaps. Like, what does that mean? Well, you were like doing jazz hands somewhere. Like it's like I'm just afraid to give up my hobby of snapping, right? Like
I'm
it doesn't mean anything.
I'm just afraid to give up my habit of doing West Side Story, but all the parts by myself off rhythm.
I know, exactly. And she's like, well, what do you want? And he's like, well, I mean, I could see you as my girlfriend, but like not tomorrow because I want to get my shit together before we really lock some shit in. And then she's like, well, how long does that take? You know, it's like all unraveling for him. Like it's all becoming clear that this guy doesn't have any intentionality the way that she says she wants intentionality. And even though I love this guy, I love West, but like he is totally saying things that say this is not someone who is serious right now and it's not worth putting in the emotional investment just to see. He's telling you, we always say Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, believe them. And he literally said, I like to tiptoe out of relationships at this point. So she's like, I am hearing you and now I'm considering this and I don't know if we should go any further.
Yeah, I mean, he's told her this a million times, and it's not like it's the first time she's heard it or the first time that she's had that realization. It's just that he keeps doing the thing that makes him not great, in my opinion, is that he doesn't just tell her the truth. He tells her the truth, and then he comes around and he gives her a bunch of other horse shit, like literally, let's go on a horse date, which I know is going to like really touch you. So which is it? You're saying one thing with your words and a different thing. It's very Tom Schwartz right now. It's very every guy on this channel. I mean, wow. Okay, so she's kind of onto it, like you said, and he's like, "Well, I don't want to date right now, but I mean, maybe, it won't take me forever, but I don't know, but I don't think you want to date right now, right?" And she's like, "Yeah, but I'm also not into this roundabout. I need to get my shit together." And that's why I'm not jumping to get into bed with you, because this has happened before and I will catch feelings and I'm not going to look stupid again. And he goes, "Okay, so we're on the same page, right? Right? I'm going to blink a lot and do this with, do my head like a little, dog waiting for a treat, right?" She's like,
No. She's like, "You winced." No. She's like, "Yeah, well, it's the getting your shit together part is annoying." Like, what does that even mean? And she was like, you have this kind of like touch and go thing, like be close but not too close. Like, are you talking to other girls? He's like, "Damn, bro. I mean, I haven't cut off every single chick I've ever texted before. I can't like do that." And she's like, "Well, let's just be respectful of each other. And like, if you're talking to other people, then the idea of us talking about Thanksgiving and being cute, let's just like save that." And she's totally right. She's like, "It's fine if we're not exclusive and we can talk to other people, but don't start like throwing these things that sound like we're in a committed relationship around. Don't start talking about Thanksgiving and meeting the family when you're actually not in a place of being serious right now."
Yeah, I don't get this whole thing. Like, why is it so weird that if you like somebody that you would not see other people? It doesn't mean you're committing. Like, what is this? What is this time limit of like, "Oh my God, but what if I start dating? I have to see like as many people as I have to fuck as many people as I can before that." It's just such a weird like addiction. If somebody likes me, but I know that they're fucking 5 people, I'm not attracted to that. Sorry. I don't think that's the craziest. I don't think that everybody has to be like me, and I'm certainly not slut-shaming anybody, but why is it so weird to be like, "Hey, Ben, I really like you, so I'm not going to fuck 5 other people this week"?
Yeah, and I have to say that, like, I know everyone has different experiences, but like when I met Dom, for instance, I was, talking to so many people. I met Dom, and from the jump, I was smitten with Dom. And I was like, I don't want to talk to anyone else, because I don't want for 1 second, like, for that to fuck up anything. Because I was like, this one's like a keeper. And I kind of feel like if you find that person that you're like, this one's a keeper, this is someone that I really like, this is something I want to pursue, you don't even care about the other people. And you don't want to care about it because you don't even want to mess up your focus. You're like, you want to like, you are starting that fire, you're putting kindling into that fire, and you're not trying to light matches all over the place.
Right, like you're trying to impress the person and show them how much you like them and want to be with them.
And
so
that
this
energy
whole
comes
thing, I don't
through.
understand this. Yeah, and I don't understand this whole like, "Well, I like you, but you're not fucking with me, so I have to fuck multiple people. I just have to constantly keep fucking." It's weird, and I think that's a total red flag. It's not the fucking part; it's the inability to not be getting validation from multiple people at one time, because you may not be giving me exactly what I want in that moment. That's like a huge red flag for your future with that person. It's the second you don't want to have sex, or the second you're not in the mood, or the second you've got something going on in your life that they're going to use as that excuse to go fuck around and to like be totally selfish. It's a selfish, and he's admitting he's selfish, but he's doing it in that like cutesy way to try and win someone over. So I don't know. I don't have time for this fucking guy.
And neither does Sierra. We can see Sierra sort of getting the ick in that moment. So then we go back to Jesse, and he is with his mom, and they've just gone to the doctor, and it seems like it was not a good day, and that they did an ultrasound, and he calls up West, and West and Sierra are driving back, and he basically says that like he felt something and the doctor felt something else. And both things were abnormal, and so they did an ultrasound, and now they have to wait for the results. And it's just like, oof, I don't know. It made me, it stressed me out. It made me, that is such a tough thing to be in. And so that is basically like that's the end of the episode, is him waiting and hoping for good news. And West and Sierra talking about how Jesse is like really trying so hard to be emotionally detached from it and being goofy when it's like a really scary situation. So hopefully it's okay. I don't really know in real life what's happened with him, but We're going to find out next week. But
well, kind of the rumor with him right now this week has been like him and Amanda are really flirty, and people in Crappy Hour this week were asking like, oh, do you think they're getting together? Because they have all these like flirty Instagram lives and stuff, and they have really good chemistry, and I don't know, but I'm rooting for it.
Wow.
Run, Amanda, run, girl. I fully support that.
Wow.
I think.
Even though Jesse can be kind of douchey too, but at least he's upfront about it.
Okay. Well, we'll keep tabs on all situations and report back as soon as we know anything about anything. And in the meantime, everyone, thanks for being here for another wild episode of Summer House, where actually, Ronnie, we were fully aligned with every single opinion we had this today. How about that?
There you go.
It's
See, all
amazing.
it takes.
All it takes is Carl and Kyle being total dickwads. And then we can get on totally the same page with our opinions. Not that we have to, but it's fun. So thanks, everyone, for being here. And we will speak to you all next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Stroll in the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas. She's never scary, it's the Green Fairy. Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know your worth with Jason Kurth.
Sip some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. We want to hang with Liz Lang. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
The Bay Area Betches. Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
We forever love Ava.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. We got our wish, it's Jen Plish.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch. She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo.
We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
Ring that bell for Rachel.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke. Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
It was the biggest scandal in pop music. The stars of Milli Vanilli, the Grammy-winning multi-platinum R&B phenomenon, were exposed as frauds. But none of this was their idea. So whose idea was it? Enter German music producer Frank Farian. He saw the success of acts like Michael Jackson and Prince, and he wanted in, no matter the cost. So he devised the perfect pop heist. Two once-in-a-lifetime talents who were charismatic, full of sex appeal, and phenomenal dancers. The only problem? They couldn't sing. But Frank knew just how to fix that. Wondery's new podcast, Blame It on the Fame, dives into one of pop music's greatest controversies and takes a never-before-heard look at the exploitation of two young Black artists. Milli Vanilli set the world on fire, but when the truth came out, Rob and Fab were the only ones who got burned. Looking back now, it's hard not to wonder, why did everyone blame them and not the man pulling the strings? Follow Blame It on the Fame, Milli Vanilli on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of Blame It on the Fame early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
I'm Elena, an autopsy technician.
And I'm Ash, a hairstylist.
And we just love swapping stories about all of the morbid things that fascinate us.
And if you do too, join us on our podcast, Morbid. It's a safe space to let your weirdo flag fly.
On Morbid, we cover dark historical events, sinister science, unnerving paranormal events, and sordid high society murders.
We also dive deep into the most notorious crimes in history.
Our podcast is grounded in rigorous and painstaking research. We're also not afraid to read a
Yeah. We keep it weird because a dash of snark is necessary to get through grotesque true tales of demented minds.
So follow Morbid on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Morbid early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.